So yeah, I'm outside gardening. I just want to yap, to be honest. And so in the middle of my gardening session, I just want to yap real quick. I don't think I'm ugly. As a matter of fact, I know I'm not ugly. I know I'm not stupid. I mean, I know everything, but I'm not stupid. Uh, and so trying to call me ugly or stupid is just like, okay, cool. You could call me neurospicy because I am most definitely that. Like a bipolar bitch, that's what I am. Like all day, all night, bipolar. You know what I mean? Neurospicy as fuck, pretty as fuck. But you can't like hurt my feelings in the sense of like trying to belittle me because I dated this one dude and as a Pisces dating another Pisces. Pisces, man. Oh God, just if you're a Pisces woman, don't date another Pisces man. I know. But when I was dating this man, he had a record label, or not even a record label, but he had like artists underneath him. And it wasn't that he was a bad artist, it's just that his contracts, like his whole idea and concept was like smart logically, but his follow through, his plan was trash. Like it did not make any sense. And in the end, he'd end up being over in the end if things didn't go right. So basically, the way he set up his contracts was like, I don't want to say it was mediocre, but like if you read and actually look at like some of the stuff that he's saying, like in the beginning, if they do well, it benefits them, but in the end, like whatever, it doesn't benefit him. And I was like, you don't have the management skills to actually execute your contract the way that you think is going to execute out. This man got in the car and this man was like, oh, I think you talk too much, let's go to the movies. Should have been a red flag, wasn't paying attention because I was like, oh man, that's my homeboy, you know, we just dating out, whatever, so it's not that, what you call it, like whatever, like maybe we just not in talking mood right now. So later on we get back to his crib and I say, oh, I read your contracts and I just don't think that make logical sense. He said, why would you read my contracts? I said, because it was out. And honestly, as someone who's written contracts before and had to like actually have like what you want and need and expect, because at the time I was on YouTube, and for me, myself, and I, after that last failed interview I had, I realized I need to start figuring up contracts of what I wanted to be done. So like, even if it wasn't like, oh, you know, oh, like money being exchanged, like there needs to be like, we're gonna talk about this and like all this other stuff. So mind you, I told this man, I was like, hey, your contract's a little flaky. He said, you need to mind your business. And then he hit his contracts. Who am I? You know what I mean? So I shut my mouth up. I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing, like, cause who am I? So in the midst of it, I'm like, who am I to like tell him that his contract is full? Like sometimes people have to learn the hard way. I shit you not. Oh boy, we got in the car and we was going somewhere one day, and I was really fucking I really did my big one. Like I had to bust down Bobbiana was moving. My bob was like moving. My bob was fire. My bob was so fire. I'm like, oh, I'm really feeling myself. Like I'm feeling my O's. Like I'm not ashy. Like your girl is like really like, right? And that's like one of my most favorite pictures of all time that I ever took that day. In the middle of me like taking a video, old boy said, that's enough. I don't need your self-esteem going up a little bit higher. Yeah, that was the day that I realized that this man and everything that he had did that I thought was like a personal attack, I realized it was a very personal attack towards me. Because when I started to feel myself, or anytime I was like starting to feel my oats to be like, oh my gosh, I'm her, I'm that girl, he'd be the first person to tell me like, no, that's not it, you're tweaking out, like you doing too much right now. And he would like purposely try to fuck up my shit. And when I would joke with him like in a serious moment, because I think we had an interview or some shit like scheduled, and I was like talking to him, and in the middle of talking to him, he was like, I can't get that, I can't get that, I can't get that, I can't get that. But when he wanted me to like interview him for his podcast, for his thing with Mike with me, he was the same question I was asking. He was like, oh, ask me this and I'm answering on my thingy. Not you using my stuff and you trying to Y'all, at that moment when he said that, cause like at the time I ain't play by my YouTube channel, especially with like shit I had to do. And after he got mad at me for like critiquing his oh, and that's not even a kicker. So like at the end of the interview or whatever, right? I was just like, I'm just finna go sing your stuff. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm not finna fuck with this dude no more. He'll talk about some, oh, how would you fix my contract? Because, you know, I'm not saying that I ran into some problems. But if I did run into some problems, like, how would you get out of that? And how could I go do this? Because they said that my contract wasn't, you know, up to par. But, you know, this is just a hypothetical. And I was like, well, you can hypothetically go take your ass somewhere because hypothetically I'm not attractive, right? Hypothetically I'm not smart enough, right? Hypothetically I'm not pretty enough, right? Because he ended up asking me to like model his clothing brand. And I told him, I was like, oh, I thought I wasn't attractive enough. And I remember he had made the joke early in the night. He was like, I'm not gonna have no ugly people on my brand because why would I want somebody who's not visually attractive on my brand for my clothing? Because people buy shit from pretty people. And then I remember like after we stopped talking, he was begging me like, oh, could you just modify my brand real quick? Oh, could you just modify my brand real quick? And I was like, I thought you said you only wanted pretty people. He was like, bruh, you know you fine. I just said that shit because I didn't want you to get the confidence because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do when we was dating. And he was like, nah, that I could them things somebody else and I don't really care about what you do no more. I just want you to come out on my shit. And I need you to help me fix my contracts and like show me how to edit my stuff because somebody's talking about something I gotta go pay them a certain amount of money for them to go edit. And he was like, I know you have like the little edit thing, and even though you have that little it's like you actually be getting shit done quickly. And I just, you know, I've been trying to get that last little interview up for us, for me, because you know everything is stagnant. So mind you, I'm like, and so I was never ugly. I was right about your contracts. You did not want to help me with my shit because you wanted your shit to strive. And even after we stopped talking, you was watching me. And it made me realize, like, I've never, like, never, ever, ever really been ugly. It's just people wanting me to not feel as if I was her or that girl. Because, like, every time I look back over, like, past situations, like, with people who I don't talk to anymore or we don't fell out or we're not dating anymore, I look back and I'm not gonna sit there and say I was, like, the perfect being. But majority of the times is because, like, I started to get a little bit of confidence, and my little bit of confidence, I guess they thought like I was gonna like flip the fucking table, but whole entire time, if you'd have just let me believe that I was fucking pretty, I promise you, or smart or intellectual or could do shit by myself, I promise you, we probably would have never had our falling out because I still would have been on the illusion that you was my homegirl or my homeboy and you had my best interest at heart, and when we were dating that you weren't this evil manipulative motherfucker. Cause what the fuck, like it's like you start to realize things once they're over. Like if you stop feeling sad enough, just like like because the whole grieving process, like you're gonna feel sad, like that's the tea. But like during your process, if you start to look at the details in the picture, you'll realize where you fucked up at, where you went wrong, and where people had you fucked up at, and why you can't forget certain things. Because I'm not finna hold you. I'll never forgive old boy and certain people in my life because that was a choice that you actively made. And with that being said, yeah, welcome to my Yap session.